kein bin sauer, kein bin lag.
Hier beim German Darts Grand Prix. Er ist in Potsdam geboren, 47 Jahre alt und hat sich jetzt nach rund 2 Jahren endlich nochmal für das Hauptfeld eines European Tour Events qualifizieren können. Wir drücken ihm die Daumen. The Puls, Marco Puls! Marco Puls wird herausgefordert von einem jungen Mann aus England. 28 Jahre ist er alt. Er ist ein dreimaliger WM-Teilnehmer und der Sohn des World Masters Champions von 1996, Colin Monk. Die Rede ist von Matt Monk, Aaron Monk.
Game 3 here at the German Darts Grand Prix, live from the Zenith Kulturhalle in Munich, Bavaria, and it's Aaron Monk, a man in form, playing arguably as well as we've seen him in his PDC career, which does stretch back a long old way, but something seems to have clicked for the Mad Monk, and this year he is starting to consistently produce averages up in the 90s, sometimes over a ton. Had a very notable win against Gerwyn Price the other weekend on the tour with a 104 average. And he's up against one of the host nation qualifiers, Marco Puls, the first of 8 Germans we will see in action this weekend. A record on the European Tour. 5 host nation qualifiers, 1 seeded player in Max Hopp, and 2 qualifiers through the European system in Gabriel Clemens and Martin Schindler. Shindy and the German Giants on the way today with the other host nation qualifiers, with Max joining in the action tomorrow. But it is Dave Chisnell, the number 13 seed, who awaits the winner of this one. It is the Mad Monk and the Pulse, and the assets in commentary with me for it.
Why do they call him the Pulse?
Don't know. I think it's something to do with he really likes vegetables of a certain type.
Ah, likes the lentils then.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy game for Aaron Monk. And if he thinks it's going to be easy, he's mistaken.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg is Aaron to throw first. Game on.
The thing is about qualifying for these events as a host nation qualifier, the form from yesterday evening is very relevant. And out of all of the home nation qualifiers, for me, Puls played the best.
45.
Did better than Dragutin?
I think just about. Just about. He had a 96 average against Jochen Groudens in his second round, which I think is arguably the best he's
36.
played in a qualifier. So I think that level of confidence he will bring to this match. But what you say about Aaron is very, very true.
Well, a 96 average, that was
140.
good enough for Ted Ebbets to win pretty comfortably against Mark Wilson. So if Puls can reproduce that sort of stuff here, then Aaron Monk has got a game.
140.
But I have to say, I've been very, very impressed with Aaron Monk this year. When you look at his performances in the Players' Championship Series, he is just outside the top 32 in the averages list. Now, that is not
95.
somewhere, when Aaron has been playing on the tour over the last few years, that he has been on a regular basis. Obviously, we haven't had the Dart Connect system for that long. But
100.
even if you're just looking on results rather than performance levels, Aaron Monk has made a quarter-final for the first time in more than 5 years. He did that in Barnsley just the other
60.
weekend. That has got to be a sign that things are looking up. He's doing it, pretty rare. He keeps getting through his first round. He's made a last 16 as
45.
well.
Aaron
A couple of 3 board
161.
finals. So it's there. It's not just a flash in the pan.
He'll stay upstairs. He disappointed me by
95.
dragging that dart in there, but it's a really good recovery dart from Aaron. I'll be very interested to see where he goes on the 66, because there's a lot of players these days going for treble 14.
85. Aaron Uruguay 66.
Well, there are a lot of options. Your bull double 8 route. Oh, well, the bonus about going bull double 8 is if you hit the 25, you get your choice of whatever
50.
double you like,
I'll give you one,
unless you
95.
miss the big number.
Big number could come into play for Marco here. Surely he's going bull first. Or it was neither here nor there dart. And he went for tops. Wasn't really that great an effort from Marco. But he's left double 8, Aaron. Is that too close? It may have been. We said in the last game about Ted Everett's missing doubles. That won't do Aaron's confidence a lot of good because Marco gets another poke at tops.
Right on the wire. Uses it expertly. 1-0 to the German. And a breaker throw as well.
It doesn't shock me when you talk about the game he had with Price because that's the kind of game where Aaron can come into his own. He likes to play against people who are a bit fired up.
125.
I remember watching his World Youth Championship win against MVG at Ali Pali, and his confidence level in that game was off the scale. When Aaron has that confidence,
50.
he's trouble for anybody.
And we've seen, I remember him turning up after a year or so away. He turned up at the UK Open and
85.
he's trimmed down a bit. He was always a muscly guy, but he trimmed down. He, looks at his current physique. Does work as a personal trainer, I understand. And
99.
he played Phil Taylor and he looked really good. He lost the game, but Taylor was flying as usual. And he thought, oh, well, hang on, if this is what it's going to be like with Aaron Monk, then he could go and do bits, and it didn't really materialise at all for him.
85.
But this year, it's not just a one-off game here or there. He is starting to do it on a more regular basis, and on the tour, he's averaging above 90, around about that 92, 93 mark. A little bit higher than Ted Everett's, in fact. And so I don't see why, if it all comes together for him for a weekend, he can genuinely go on, perhaps make his first semi-final in a ranking event for 6 years, maybe go on and make a final, possibly win one. There's nothing to suggest that can't happen, but he's just got to keep on going and keep on progressing. He knows he's playing well. I spoke to him earlier on. He said, yeah, I'm slinging down some pretty decent stuff at the moment.
80. I'll give you 106.
Got to say, he's in danger in the early stages of this one. Certainly now, double 16.
82.
Double 12 left for Marco. Aaron's got to be really mentally strong here. First and foremost, he's got to get this 180. Does.
180.
Puts the pressure on Marco the best way possible.
24.
It's out of his hands. But that's a beautiful hit. He wasn't sure it was in. He was ready to throw that third dart. But Aaron knows now, being 2-0 down, that he's in a game. So that might actually be good for him. It might get him to switch on mentally and say, do you know what? If I've underestimated this guy even 1 or 2% more than I should have, now I realise I've got to win probably
60.
the next 3 or 4 legs to get myself into this.
Well, look, Marco hasn't played on the Euro Tour for 3 years. He qualified for 2 Euro Tour events back in 2016.
135.
Misses out on the second maximum. And he went out in the first round of both, but he wasn't smashed all over the board. He lost 6-3 on both occasions. Once to Ron the Bomb Muhlenkamp and once to the Lethal Biscuit, James Wilson. So, they're creditable. You've come away with 3 legs in those. Since then, he has tried to qualify for more. He's gone to Euro Q School the last couple of years, not been able to get a tour card. But he's evidently been trying to make some more appearances on these Euro Tour stages. We've not seen him go and test himself in Challenge Tour or anything like that. But with the changes they've made to qualify for these Euro Tours, you might be seeing a lot more of Marco Puls over the course of this year. Bullseye for Aaron Monk. Goes for it.
142.
Well, after he hit that 60, right in the middle, I just had a feeling he was going to have a poke at the bull. And I think there's the right shot because not only will that inflate your confidence if you get it,
25.
we've got choices from 25. So, double 8 for his first chalk mark. Doesn't want to keep missing doubles. Doesn't matter how far away your opponent is. If you keep missing like that, your confidence is going to dwindle on them. So he's got to put it right next time.
100.
Well, still got a bit of time with which to play here.
Edge
There
on
we
the
go.
third leg,
That's a
Aaron
bit more
Monk.
like it.
Fourth leg is Marco to throw first. Game on.
If we talk
Yeah.
more about Aaron as well, you know, physically when you look at him, he's probably in the best shape of his life. And
134.
I'm a big advocate for players to look after themselves because some of the days that they have to handle these days are ridiculous. Getting to quarterfinals and semi-finals and winning events, it's
125.
going to take something out of you. So you've got to find energy from somewhere. But I think Aaron will definitely admit that his biggest weakness in his career up to date has been the mental side of the game. And I think maybe he's just starting to polish up on that now.
Well, you've always, in previous years, and I think Aaron would be the first to
99.
admit it, you got the feeling that Aaron Monk's turned up to Pro Tour weekends and he's treated it like it's fun. And it should be fun. You should enjoy the game.
57.
But if you're going to achieve your potential, you've got to treat it professionally. And I think you're seeing a bit more of that. I think he became a dad, didn't he, last year? Is it Leo, his little lad's name, I think?
Marco Uruguay 170.
That may well have just changed his approach. And it appears to be paying dividends. And if that's the case, then we could have a player who, years and years and years ago, people were saying this lad has got enormous potential to all kinds of things. It might take a long while to happen, but if it does start to happen over this year and next year, then it's going to be very
45.
exciting to see.
Marco Uruguay 70.
He's got to stay mentally strong here, Aaron, because he's in a tough spot. Marco is going to get a shot at a double here. Which one will it be? It will be double 16. That's a very good conversion. And Aaron has got to tighten things up. He can't allow Marco to stretch that lead. He's got to get to 3-3 first and foremost. We always say, got to take it one leg at a time, but Aaron has got to win the next two legs for me.
97.
Well, Marco Puls, pretty unflappable in the opening exchanges, and the crowd are getting behind him. That's always the thing with host nation
95.
qualifiers in these Euro Tour events. They have got the advantage of the crowd getting behind them, but they have to give them something first. They're not going to cheer you over the line if you're throwing a 75 average.
140.
Marco Puls is significantly better than that. Average in the 80s, and crucially 43% on doubles.
60.
Mark was doing a wadie on Aaron Monk. And of course Aaron knows wadie very well. They've both played for Hampshire. Aaron is of course from Andover.
84.
Proud of that as well. From a darting family. His dad Colin was one of the best players that's ever put on an England shirt.
Yeah, I did an
43.
interview with Colin a few weeks back, and he said that he perhaps left his move to the PDC too late. They never saw the best of him. It's quite interesting because he was a big name in the PDC for a good long while.
140.
I think from a technical perspective, Colin wouldn't mind me saying this, but I think technically Aaron is better than his dad. But it's difficult sometimes coming out of the shadow of a family member being so
99.
good.
Aaron Uruguay 40.
Aaron is his own man now, and this has been a much better leg from him.
Edge on the fifth leg, Aaron Monk.
Polished
Fifth leg is
13-dart
Marco to
game
throw first.
in this
Game
match, and just gets within one. And previously, in games like this, Aaron would have been animated. He would have been trying to psych his opponent out, but I've seen nothing of that here. What he's trying to do is just grind, and I think that's very impressive from what is, I was going to call him a young man. He's not so much a young man anymore.
No.
140.
Aaron Monk. I mean, he's just turned 29, so just a matter of days ago.
60.
I think the most important thing that we will see in this match is how does Marco Puls react to this potential onslaught from Aaron, someone who has won
140.
European Tour matches before. Mark was never done that. Now, cast your mind way back to Newland in 2012. I played Aaron in the quarterfinals. He knows how to go
85.
deep in these things. It hasn't happened for a while, but there's nothing to say that he can't do that again.
Yeah, and it's a section of the draw that he's in
125.
with Dave Chisnall. You know, Mensur Suljevic in that section as well, Kyle Anderson, all in this little bit of a
97.
draw.
Aaron Uruguayan, 96.
Josh Payne, Gian Artuk. Staying there. And that's all right.
56.
This is the opportunity that Aaron Monk wanted to level the match up. Paul said he needed to win the next 2 legs, and back-to-back 13 darters. That's going to be too much for Marco Puls. He's got to get the job done.
Aaron Uruguayan, 40.
He'll keep the crowd quiet as well if he keeps doing this. Left or right, Aaron? Brilliant.
On the sick leg,
What a wonderful
Aaron
adjustment from Aaron Monk.
7 leg is Aaron to throw
And
first. Game on.
Somewhat vitally, he's got the darts back. He hasn't led in this match, Aaron, but it feels like he is the one steaming forward now. He's got to maintain what he's done in the last couple of legs.
90.
He'll be very happy with the way he played in qualifying, Aaron Monk, because it wasn't easy. He came through Adam Hunt, which is never an easy game. That was 6-5.
21.
Then Conan Whitehead, 6-4, and Willie O'Connor, 6-5. And Aaron won't mind me saying this, but historically in his career, he's been involved in too many close matches.
95.
He hasn't got rid of his opponent quick enough, and he's lost matches that he shouldn't have lost. And he's potentially not had as many opportunities in his career because he's lost too many close games. But in qualifying, he was on the right side of those close games.
Well, if you are looking at an outsider who could go on a run, and look, it is tough, you know, as I say, we've got Dave Chisnell for the winner of this one, Mensur Suljevic potentially after that, or Josh Payne, Daryl Gurney and Rob Cross in the same quarter of the draw. But the players who have not done anything on the Euro Tour for a long while, but have just shown a bit lately that they might be capable of going and doing something. Aaron Monk is a very, very good pick if you're looking at a long odds or outsider to go and have an impact on this tournament. And look, we are seeing that. You always see that on the European Tour. Yes, we've seen Michael van Gerwen beat Peter Wright in the final of this event last year. Seen that happen quite a lot in many of these Euro Tour events. But there have been plenty of other stories along the way.
One thing not to forget as well for Aaron is that he's got to play well this year.
76.
He wants to keep his card.
120.
It's all got to happen. And a single 20 for tops. Well, the best showing in this match from him. That is picture perfect from Aaron Monk. Beautiful 60 in the bottom half of the bed. Then a nice guiding single and just pitches that tops in over the top of that second dart. That was wonderful.
Yeah, 3 legs in 42 darts. That's 107 average for that little spell. That's going to worry players. And at the minute, Marco Puls, he's gone from 3-1 up and the crowd singing his name and cheering him on
55.
to basically just looking on as Aaron Monk takes control of this game. And he's going to have to find a big leg somewhere just to try and remind Aaron that it's not all about when he wants to win this.
There's a little bit of frustration there from Marco, just a shake of the head. His scoring has disappeared a little bit. We haven't seen any emotion from Aaron.
60.
A tiny bit of exasperation there because he knows he can't take his foot off the pedal.
He did win a game on the Euro Tour last year. He beat Robert Thornton in the Dutch Darts Championship, Aaron Monk. He was then beaten by the eventual champion Ian White. He was only beaten 6-4. That was pretty much the best he did.
99.
All the way through last year, he had a couple of second round exits on the Euro Tour. They were pretty much his biggest paydays, to be honest. We didn't see him at the World Championship, and it may well come down to
41.
that at the end of the year for Aaron Monk, whether he does keep his tour card. But the way he's been playing suggests he can just take all that out of the equation. Not only qualify for Ali Pali,
140.
but make sure that he's in the top 64 in the world by the time that comes around. And it can be a huge, huge relief.
It's going to be tough for him because there are players who have got tour cards in the bank and they're only 3 or 4 months old and they're already in the top 64. And I'm talking about Glenn Durrant, who we will see later against Jamie Hughes.
75.
Bit of bullseye action from Marco Puls there. Very smart thinking.
I like it. I mean, it's a bit soft tippy. This isn't. This is old school steel tip darts. Top quality stuff. There's the first bit of aggression and emotion from Aaron Monk,
Aaron to throw first.
absolutely justified. Superb.
Couldn't agree more, Dan. That was a great finish. Very good counting from Marco Puls to guarantee that shot. Just goes to show that Aaron Monk has got gears.
140.
And another 15 darter as well. So yeah, he was in trouble at 3-1 down, Aaron Monk. And maybe the old Aaron Monk would have started getting frustrated and annoyed. But what he's done here is just grit his teeth and start to find the darts that he's been producing over the last few weeks.
59.
4 legs won with in excess of 100 average in that spell. It's put him in total control of this game. And Marco Puls is looking at coming to a European Tour event for the 3rd time in his career and going out in round 1, 6-3.
Well, the way Aaron's been playing the last few legs, the only thing in trouble are Aaron's shirt sleeves and the stitching coming undone.
54.
Because that is very tight, that shirt.
Yeah, it is not a style of dart shirt that should be or will be adopted by everyone on the tour.
Not at all. And we've had 2
60.
different cases for that this afternoon already. We've got the athletic, svelte-looking Aaron Monk, and then the Chris Waddle-type baggy shirt from Richie Edhouse.
I quite like that retro baggy. You're
Well, like
not
that-
a big fan, are you?
Like that
140.
baggy Chris Waddle shirt, the Sheffield Wednesday one.
Yeah, I mean, he tucked it in. It wasn't like, it wasn't like the full.
He didn't have the full baggy sleeve with the tight end to it.
42. Aaron, you
Well, 108 points for Aaron, and he'll be in the next round. Single 16, single 8, double top to get it done, and it
Game
is
shot.
6-3 to Aaron Monk, and it is
Aaron
another
Monk.
6-3 defeat for Marco Puls. He'll have to try again, but Aaron Monk, very impressive.
Very, very impressive. Those last 5 legs, superb stuff from Aaron Monk. Couple of ton-plus checkouts. He's dragged his average up there to in excess of 95. But the last 5 legs, it was over 100. And if he can repeat that kind of stuff, not only is Dave Chisnall facing a tough test in round 2, but Aaron Monk could go and do some real damage at the German Darts Grand Prix. That's the first of 8 Germans we've seen today. Marco Puls out of the tournament. It'll be down to Jihan Artuk to see if we can see some German success this afternoon, or Kevin Munch will take on Kyle Anderson. But before that, we've got the legendary Swede Magnus Carris, poker face, against another in-form man and a former Titan from the Youth Tour, Keegan Brown, the conqueror of Michael van Gerwen. He takes on Magnus Carris. But let's hear from the Mad Monk.
So Aaron. Aaron, congratulations. 5 legs in a row after he was 3-1 up. A slow start, but it went better and better.
Very slow start. I felt terrible the first couple of legs. Then I adapted to the board, and after that, I felt quite comfortable.
Yeah, the 147 was quite big. The 120 was good.
Yeah, the checkouts come in the end. I know he went 325 to leave 170, and I took out the 147 for. But thank God I didn't give him a chance at the 170.
But your quality of your games is getting better again. Quarterfinal on Pro Tour this month. Is that a good sign?
Yeah, I feel great this year. I mean, the darts are going great. I feel great, and but it all counts on this stage. There's no point doing it on the floor. You've got to do it on the stage as well. And hopefully this weekend I'll show you.
Good to have you here. Thank you very much. Aaron Monk. Er freut sich, dass er ein gutes Jahr 2019 bislang spielt, fühlt sich gut, aber sagt auch, was zählt, ist natürlich hier